Everybody, another of the 24 days. This one's a parallel coordinates chart. And as I've done for a few others, I went and had a look at what ChatGPT said about a parallel coordinates chart. And essentially, it's a set of lines that run through various features of the data set. So in the case of the one we're going to look at, there are 4 features to do with the length of petals and so on. And so that's generally a straight line, and it's good for showing the relationships and trends inside data. So some common uses might include data exploration, analysis, and some visualization. I'm going to move on to show you an example. Here's one, and so we can see there's a distinct difference between the 3 types of flower irises that we're using in this particular case, particularly for the green one, which is the Setosa. Well, how does Qlik put this data together? Essentially, there are 2 tables. There's an iris table and a cross table, and the cross table is the results after the cross has been performed. The iris table has the features like this in fields, which is not very useful for us to use in some analytics. And so we're using a cross table to create this field, which is after the cross table has been performed. We'll look at the formula that does the cross table. You can see that it says cross table feature and feature CM. So that's the fields that it will build, and it'll do that across the 4 characteristics that are here using the iris table. You'll notice that species and iris date are not in the cross table formula and are not part of the data set. Okay, so there's a number of tweaks that need to be done for getting the chart to look the way it does. A couple of things. There are 2 dimensions, so feature becomes the group and ID becomes the line. There's no aggregation for this one, so it's a bit unusual when it comes to charts and visualizations that we build in Qlik. So you can default by making the formula a sum and then edit to remove it. Take off the title headers, don't have any grid line spacing, choose colors by dimension and choose species. That way we get 3 different color sets, and choose 100 colors. A few other bits and tweaks that happen to the x-axis and the y-axis. If you're looking to replicate this for something for yourself, pause this page, have a look at all of these on the way through. I'm a big fan of tooltips, and there's a tooltip in the bottom here that will pop up with the lengths and the widths and so on across whatever object that you run across the top of. So that will pop up with that information. And we can normalize the field as well. So that means the values will be between 0 and 1. There's a formula to do that one. You can have a look at that one if you're going to try and replicate. We can also put a minimum and maximum across each feature. And so here's the formula to do that. It uses a function in Qlik called dual. Most people that have been in Qlik for a while should know that one. Essentially, it creates a dual field that has 2 values in it. One is a text value and the other is a number value. In the formula here, you can see that the first half of the dual is creating the text. In this case, it's actually a number, but it's being perceived as text. And then down the bottom here, we're having a numeric value if need be, and the numeric value will be the one that's charted and mapped for us. So there's the formula. The result of that one is we have something that looks a bit like this. So if we look at the petal width, it goes from 2.5 centimeters down to 1 centimeter at the smallest, and all the others in between are being shown as null so they don't pop up into the visualization. There's also the ability to make a monotone, which is a curved line. So the styling for that one, we've chosen line chart and styling. When you come into styling, you'll see there's a line curve option that includes monotone. This is what it looks like. To me, it makes it less easy to see what's going on, to be honest. So I don't see it adds a lot of value. And your typical chart like this in a parallel coordinates chart is straight lines. So it's interesting, and I've left it in here so that you can see how to make the curved lines if you need them. As always, the next screen is about subscribing and liking. That really helps me, so please go ahead and do that. Thank you.
Subscribe. That would be very much appreciated, and like the video as well. Thank you.